As I record this, it is currently July 6th. And yesterday, July 5th, Friday, at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, the developers of OneShot Future Cat Games and currently developing Margin of the Strange released for the 10th anniversary celebration of the 2014 release of OneShot the Pancake episode, which is supposed to be a side quest where you bake pancakes. Now, I'm based in Eastern Daylight Time, and so for me it released at 12 in the morning. But it is the next day, July 6th, and I decided I wanted to play it. I haven't seen any spoilers, I haven't seen anything related to it. I've heard it's good. I pre-booted the game just to change some settings because the music was loud when I booted it, but I think with everything configured, we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and launch it. The audio is turned down, but the music's just a little bit louder. We're going to play this in windowed, and we'll see how it works. I've heard that Protobot is in this a lot. If you haven't played OneShot, please go play it. And if you haven't played this yet, also go play it, I think. I don't know, I don't think it should contain major story spoilers. It's the same controls. Yeah, arrow key, Z for action. Yeah. Okay. I'll just move my cursor here, and let's move on. Hello, everyone. As you know, it's the 10-year anniversary of OneShot. Well, the original version, anyway. So I thought I'd decorate the cafe. We opened extra early today, so nobody's shown up yet, except me. And the crowd goes wild. I'm here on a very special mission today. Can you guess what it is? Does it involve a celebration cake? Of the pan variety? How'd you know? You, literally told me a minute ago before the camera turned on. Camera 4K Ultra HD, 720p, no, 1080p. Oh, right. Today, I will be showing everyone how to make Mama special pancakes. And he'll be helping, because he's a grown-up and I'm not old enough to use the stove without adult supervision. Didn't you, like, set things on fire before? I think God counts as an adult supervision. As adult supervision? Yeah, that's fair. Alright then, follow me to the kitchen. Okay. Pancake recipe. Let's see if this... Does it open anything special? No, it doesn't seem to. I know on the itch.io page for this game, it was, it did have a pancake recipe. Oh, it's blocked by tail. Okay, that makes sense. This is the kitchen. I cleaned it up pretty good. You'd never know we had a fire last week. Another one? Right? Robots are surprisingly flammable. My coworkers aren't here because they're still getting repaired for fire damage, so we won't have extra help today. Do you think you can handle it? Of course, I help Mama out in the kitchen all the time. Especially when making pancakes. I even wrote down the recipe. Whoa, so many pages. And surprising legible for crayon. Like I said, these pancakes are very special, so I wrote a lot. It takes Mama a long time to make, start to finish. She even makes the syrup herself. Wow. Sounds like a lot of work. Sometimes in life you gotta work hard. Oh, it says here that we would need cups of things. What are cups? Measuring cups. You have to measure cups. Canon, they do not. Cups just don't exist in this universe. Nope. They just. Which is impressive to mention, considering the author made a flying machine that defies the laws of physics. See my last video. Not sure if I get it. Don't you cook for your job? How do you cook without measuring cups? Or measuring spoons? How do you know how much flour to use? Wait. Oh my goodness. European jump scare. Oh yeah. I hear that people in the city do that. Sounds like a hassle. They have to use the scale every time they cook. But we do live in a city. No, not your city. My city. Cities we have back home. Right. Using a scale all the time sounds hard. It'd be much easier if we had measuring cups and spoons. I don't know what those are though. Like, amount-wise. Maybe we need to get some help. Hold on. Oh! They just kidnapped. They just straight up kidnapped Proto. Damn. Yep, and he's willing to help us. I don't think it's willing. Yeah, I agree. Willing isn't exactly the right word here. Oh, while you were gone, I dug this thing out from storage. Oh, what is it? Why don't you turn the switch to... Why does it have a switch? Oh! Music player. I thought it would be fitting here. Does it play any other songs? It's only the birthday song, I'm afraid. Oh. Wanted to play heavy metal like in the cooking shows. What kind of cooking shows do they have there? Like, do they have like a cat person version of Gordon Ramsay? Like, how would that work?
Where's the lamb sauce?
Come on, man.
Just need it.
This is the lamb.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Right here.
I'm gonna turn up the music on my end because it's playing like a happy birthday rendition of the... I forget the name of the track, I'll put it up in post. But as you can hear, it's the happy birthday rendition. Also kind of funny that you have to light it on fire every time. No. I like it though, fire is cool. Fire is hot actually. I think it's a level 3 safety violation, therefore extremely stupid. I like this guy. Me and him, we're on the same level. Don't worry, the candle isn't real. Convincing though, right? Oh. Then it's just stupid. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't, I suppose. I'm allowed to use the stove by myself. Frying pan makes pancakes. Of course, the usual thing you do in this game, just spam the interact button on everything. That's the sink. A fancy coffee machine. Coffee is for grown-ups. Fancy coffee machine. Again. Door. This is the storage room. It's cold, so you shouldn't go in. That's the pantry. It doesn't actually have pans in it. Dang. That's a fridge. This better be good. Of course. I wouldn't call you if it wasn't an emergency. A dire, sticky surgery is delicious emergency. Sigh. You want me to do gram conversions, don't you, baby? So much for this not being a pain in the... Assuming that you do not need perfect conversions, I should be able to help. School is only calibrated to the metric system, and our database on other units only has a limited sample size that does not account for various contingencies. The metric system! OneShot is based in Europe! OneShot is based in Europe. Confirmed. So it might not be exactly... How much does a cup of flour weigh? 120 grams, roughly. Whoa, you answered so fast. Simple query like that does not take long to... How much does my 3 cups of water weigh? 720 grams. How about half a cup of beans? Depends on the bean. Pinto beans. 70 grams. Why do you even need beans to make pancakes? How about 100 cups of ice cream? Vanilla. 21,400 grams or 21.4 kilograms. Are you having fun? This kilogram steel. Kilogram steel. Hang on, I forgot to turn off my Steam overlay. I got jump scared by my friend playing Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, I had to shut off my Steam real quick, so there is a pause in the recording. It's a kilogram of steel heavier than a kilogram of feathers. Do not test my patience. What is it? That's probably here to help us. We can continue. For those of you following along, you would need a gram scale, but if you have measuring cups and spoons like I do at home, you could use those instead. It would probably be a lot easier. Next up is ingredients. Since the recipe is so long, we should probably split it into 3 parts. It kinda is 3 recipes in one. That's what Mama does. You have to do it in a specific order for the best results. Okay, I'll go get everything ready. Quite the list we have here. Audio may be consistent throughout the recording. I'm not great at audio mixing. 1,000 likes on this video and I'll actually make the recipe listed in the itch.io website. These are hazelnuts. Mom always starts with this step where she turns hazelnuts into hazelnut candy. Sprinkle them on top of the pancakes later. She also says this recipe is pretty dangerous for a kid, so I normally only help with the first steps. First, I cut a piece of parchment paper with scissors and put it on a baking pan, or anything that's heat-proof. You need to get a knife and cutting board. I'm not old enough to use knives on my own either, so you have to do this part. Okay. Take about half a cup of hazelnuts, 65 grams, and cut them up like this. You pick out all the big pieces. You don't want the crumbs because they'll burn. Save the crumbs and just mix it with the hazelnut flour, though. Smart. Now you need a frying pan, but not for pancakes. Toast the hazelnut pieces on the pan at low or medium heat for 5 minutes until they turn brown and smell nice. Careful though, you don't want it to burn. They won't burn if I'm starting them the whole time. Genius. Oh, I think that's just about done. Oh, that's fast. But it's only been 3 minutes. All stoves and pans are a little different, so they heat up at different speeds. Okay, then you turn off the heat and dump out all the hazelnuts onto a plate or bowl, or just a counter if it's clean. Then you wipe down the pan really good with a damp towel to get rid of all the burnt bits. Put the pan back on the warm stove to evaporate off the water. You need a pan dry for the next step. Now the skin should be loose on the hazelnut pieces so you can rub the pieces between your hands to get all the skin off. Are they cool enough to touch yet? Yeah. Oh, let me do it. Mama lets me always do this step. Use my sleeves. Wait, but Mama isn't around to wash my coat afterwards. If you use your bare hands, it'll probably take longer. Why not just use a towel? Smart. Not all of the skin will come off, and that's okay. Put the hazelnut pieces back into the pan just like last time. Don't put in any crumbs. I'll just slip the crumbs away this time since it's mostly just skin and burnt bits anyways. You add a 1/4 cup of sugar to the pan. 50 grams. Now turn the pan on medium heat to melt the sugar while stirring the pan. Mama says melt the sugar super hot, so it can really hurt if you touch it. I'll stay over here. I can't believe something as tasty as sugar could be so dangerous. That's the equivalent of putting on a hazmat suit for cooking oil. Sugar should set to melt around 5 minutes. Might be different for this stove though. Once it melts, stir it even more. You want it to melt all the sugar and coat the hazelnut pieces with it. Mama usually keeps the stove on for another 3 minutes or so for all the sugar to melt. Okay, I'll keep stirring. Be careful, okay? I'll be fine. Oh, did you burn yourself? Nope. Just surprised it melted as fast as it did. Don't scare me like that. I think it's done though. Okay, take it off the heat. Hurry. Then you just dump everything out again. This time onto parchment paper. I'll pour it into the thin layer since I assume we don't want big clusters that'll be tough to break up later. They'll stick together at least a little bit. Again, it's really hot, so definitely don't touch it. But once it's cool, you can chop them up on a cutting board. Don't try to break them up with your hands though. Sugar can be as sharp as glass. Another cruel betrayal by the world's most delicious substance. Okay, it's all chopped up now. If you have a jar or airtight container, that'll keep them crunchy while we make other things. Otherwise, the sugar will get sticky after a while. Say, why is that? Why are you looking in my direction? Because you're the smartest guy here. Sigh. Because sugar has height. Oh my god! Walter White! Jesse! We need to cook pancakes! Jesse. Wire, but it's sugar. Because sugar has hygropic properties, which means it attracts the water molecules in the air. The water molecules would then disrupt the crystal substance of the heart of sugar you just made. You heated the sugar up to about 150 degrees Celsius, also referred to as the hard crack stage. In this stage, the sugar is hard and brittle, and crunchy. But as the hardened sugar continues to pull moisture from the air, and thus disrupting its crystal structure, it would lose its brittleness. Water is able to do this because it is a polar molecule, which means it has two differently charged regions. The oxygen atom holds a particularly negative charge, while the two hydrogen atoms hold a particularly positive charge. This polarity gives the water the ability to attract other pole molecules. And not only that, the pair of hydrogen bonds in the water molecule also... This goes on for another 5 minutes. I'm learning words. I'll just go ahead and put a jar with some silica gel packets. Silica gel, a form of silicon dioxide, is extremely porous with large surface areas that facilitates moisture absorption and retention. It has the ability to absorb 40% of its own weight in water and is also used as a commercial dissectant. In our case, it would absorb all the moisture in a small enclosed space, a sealed jar. Good to know. Yeah, that was one of the teaser images for the Pancake episode, and people were just spamming Walter White. I can't believe the legends are true. We're making the syrup next. Oh, syrup is super simple to make. Well, I think it's scary, because we're melting sugar again. I'll stay over here, away from the stove. You can help me cut the butter at least. Hydration break. I'll need 2 tablespoons of it, 30 grams, cut into smaller pieces with a butter knife. Butter knife is safe for little old me. On my side, we'll need a cup of brown sugar, 200 grams, which goes in the saucepan along with half a cup of water, 120 grams. Mix together with a small whisk, then heat over medium-high heat while consistently stirring. Oh, don't forget to add the maple syrup. 2 tablespoons, right? 40 grams. Okay, why do we have to cook the syrup to melt it when maple syrup always stays a liquid? You're looking at me again. Maple syrup, Walter White, part 2. Electric Boogaloo. Maple syrup contains invert sugars, which are structurally different from table sugar. Invert sugars have better moisture retention properties and do not readily crystallize. It's typical to add invert sugar to syrups made with a regular sugar in order to prevent the mixture from recrystallizing, which would lead to a grainy texture. I normally just use honey or corn syrup for that. Then it won't taste as good. I wouldn't know the difference regardless. Alright, you can't eat. Once the syrup boils, switch the heat down to medium-low and simmer for about 2 minutes while stirring. Can you pass me the butter? I cut it into little cubes like Mama does. Is that okay? Nice. It could be any shape. The pieces just needs to be small enough to melt quickly once added to the syrup. Stirring it helps melt faster. Correct. We just take it off the heat and leave it in the pan to cool down to eating temperature. Careful not to touch it though. Again, 1,000 likes, and I will actually cook the recipe listed on the HIO page. And taste test it. Now we're finally ready to make pancake batter. The main event. Yep, it's a 3 mixing bowl recipe. 1 bowl for dry ingredients, 1 bowl for wet ingredients, and 1 just for the egg white. That's how you really know it's special, huh? Because all of the dishes you'll have to clean afterwards. It's not a labor of love without the labor, as Mama always says. Looks like we'll also need a sifter and a whisk. More things to clean later. And a pan. Don't forget the pan. Because otherwise it would just be cake. Actually, it would just be raw. We don't need to use the stove until the end, so I can help out way more this time. First bowl is the egg white bowl. It needs to be super clean. No oil or it'll ruin everything. I like to wipe down the bowl with lemon juice just to be sure. Then you want to take an egg and separate out the egg white. You can't mix any egg yolk into the egg white because egg yolks have oil in it. Say. Because egg white is a pure protein. It's the third part of the saga. Protein molecules tend to link to each other when particularly denatured through mechanical force, such as whisking. The whisking process will also introduce a lot of air into the mixture, causing the protein mesh to become a foam. Oil molecules would disrupt that mesh structure, causing the foam to collapse. That was what you were going to ask. How'd you know? Alright, back to the eggs. I like to suck out the egg yolk with a water bottle, but that sometimes can break the egg yolks. I could also dig it out with my hands, but then my hands would get slimy. I just use a separator. Oh, that's handy. It's handy because then you don't need to use your hands. Okay. Now we put the yolk in a second bowl, the green one. We can leave the egg white alone for now. Hope it doesn't get lonely. It won't because it's just an egg. Half an egg. Alright, then we take the bowl with egg yolk and mix it with half a cup of buttermilk, which is very tasty. 112 grams. You'll want 3 tablespoons of regular milk in that too. 45 grams. Mix it all together and leave that around too. You put it next to the first bowl so that it doesn't get lonely. It won't get lonely, it's just milk. Okay, now we want to take the sifter and put the half a cup of flour. 60 grams. Oh, but then I gotta take a tablespoon of flour out. 8 grams. Leaving you with 52 grams of flour. Then add a tablespoon of cornstarch, also 8 grams. And after that, add 2 tablespoons of hazelnut flour, the best part, 14 grams. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, the other best part, 26 grams. And 1 teaspoon of baking powder, which does not taste great on its own, 5 grams. Finally, a pinch of salt, less than 1 gram. Don't add too much or the pancakes will be salty. Might still taste good though. Don't even joke like that. I wasn't joking. There are salty pancakes out there too, you know. I like to make mine with shredded vegetables, such as... I will pretend not to hear you while I sift all this flour. Oh, the bigger pieces of hazelnut and some of the brown sugar might not go through the sifter. That's okay, though. Just add it into the flour mix after everything else is sifted through. Then you mix it by hand one last time before adding it into the buttermilk mixture. You want to pour in the flour mixture slowly, then mix it with a spatula real gentle. Ah, that's called folding, where you mix the dry and wet ingredients together in sort of cutting motion with the spatula. If you overmix, the pancakes will get tough. Though I don't know, because it develops the gluten in the flour. Gluten is a mixture of proteins found in wheat flour, which is created when a flour is mixed with water and further developed into an elastic network of elastic polymers. The music's getting faster every time he speaks. I just like to point that out. Thanks. Gluten is great for making bread. Not so great if you want to make something softer like pancakes. Some people are also really allergic to gluten, so I gotta clean the kitchen really well for customers with allergies. Oh, I feel bad for them because they can't have the pancakes. Maybe they can use gluten-free flour? It might not be the exact same, but maybe. Okay, now we leave the batter alone for about 20 minutes. This gives the baking powder time to activate, which will also hydrate the flour. Rest well, batter. We only need to wait a few more minutes for the batter to be ready. So we should work on the egg whites now. Hydration break number 2. Okay, this part is really hard. You gotta take your whisk and whisk the egg whites a lot until it turns all white. It takes Mama forever to do this. Electric whisk will make this a lot easier. That's a thing? Yeah. And what is this sorcery? Electricity. That's handy. That's why it's called a hand mixer. That's not actually why it's called that. A couple drops of lemon juice in the egg whites will also help. Oh right, Mama does that too. I always wondered why that is. Because acid helps stabilize the protein foam. A slightly lower pH would keep the denatured proteins relatively loose, preventing them from folding back up. This allows the structure to be able to incorporate more air bubbles, creating a more stable foam. Traditionally, the acid most commonly used for margarine is a cream of tartar. Oh, I love tartar sauce. It's great in potato salad. Oh, we normally just use it for seafood, especially fish. I like fish. And before you say cats like fish, I can assure you that's a coincidence. But maybe that's why they named a famous cat after tartar sauce? Tartar sauce is something completely unrelated. The name tartar and cream of tartar comes from potassium bitartrate, potassium salt of tartaric acid, which potassium is a funny word, but it has a bad word in the minute. I don't think I'm allowed to say that. Ah, no. Oh, shoot, you're right. Pronounced potium. Potium. That sounds... Let's stop talking about potassium. Okay. Shut up. The eggs at soft peak right now. Do I keep going? I'm gonna usually whisk it until you can turn the bowl upside down without anything falling out, of course. So that would just make a huge mess. Stiff peaks it is then. Half a minute of electric mission sounds later. And it's ready now. So fast. Such is the power of technology. Now we put the foam in the batter, we do the folding mixing thing again. We have to pour the egg foam into the batter, not the other way around. Otherwise, it might mess up its conscience. Consistency? I knew that. Oh, and you have to use this batter right away. It'll go flat over time. Okay, I'll go heat up the stove then. I don't really know the other steps because it's on a stove. Okay, I'll take over then. Oh, right, we don't have the regular griddle right now. There's damage in the fire. I'll just have to make these in the pan. That's what Mama does. to use a really heavy black pan for these. I think it's called a cat's iron pan. It's cast iron pan. A cast iron pan? That's the one. Silly me. You're not cats. Oh, and she adds a ton of butter to it. I have stainless steel pans right now, so butter would definitely help it not stick to the pan. Though that might not make a very smooth looking pancake, butter tends to make it look more bubbly. But it'll taste great. I need a stick of butter by itself if I could. Word of advice, don't. Well, we probably won't need that much butter for this batch. Since I usually make pancakes on a big non-stick griddle, I might be a little rusty doing this the old-fashioned way. Unlike this pan, which doesn't rust because it's made of steel. I'll start heating up the pan on medium heat with some butter. About 4 or 5 out of a 9 on a standard stove. Give it maybe a couple minutes and add a drop of water to the pan. If it sizzles, that means the pan is hot enough. Scary. Then you lower the heat down a notch to around 3, and how much butter does your mom normally use? Let's see, about 1/3 of a cup? Conversion data for pancake batter not found in database. Enough batter to make a pancake about 4 inches across. So I'll end up with 5 or 6 pancakes. You can make them bigger, but they'll be harder to flip. Okay, first pancake down, let's wait about 5 minutes for that to cook. You can slide a spatula under it. It feels solid enough to lift without collapsing, it's ready to flip, and barely any color. I expected this. First pancake is always ugly. Cook it for 4 more minutes on the other side, flip it, and done? Same on the other side too, I guess the pan isn't hot enough yet. That's okay. I'm sorry, I shall accept the ugly pancake as a sacrifice. Now to make the rest. Don't forget to add more butter between each. They're already eating them. I'll create the heat up a notch to 4 this time, maybe it'll help it brown better. I don't want to turn it up too high because it might burn. Nothing's sadder than a burnt pancake. Every stove is different though, so these definitely aren't hard numbers. Oh, this pancake turned out nicer, but the pan is too hot now, so if I add more butter now, it'll explode. Scary. Because butter is an emulsion of fat and water, both of which don't mix with each other. Their explosions are caused by water rapidly turning into steam under high temperatures. Yep, that's why you don't put out a grease fire with water. I'll lower the heat back down to 3 for now. Guess we can just adjust the heat as we cook the rest. And done. Are we just about ready to put everything together? Yep. Let me do it. Okay, so we stack the pancakes and add a square of butter to it, like this. And then, where's the syrup? It's over here on the stove. Back in the danger zone. It's starting to congeal, so I'm warming it back up. Caramel syrups tend to solidify after a while, especially in our case, since it's not a true caramel, so it'll get gritty as it cools. Nothing a few minutes on the stove can't fix, though. But you have to stir it the entire time or it might burn. Yuck. Then we pour the warm, not burnt syrup over the top and sprinkle the candy hazelnuts on top of that. And done. Real. Now, normally I would eat the whole thing myself, but you guys worked so hard on this. So we shall all share. I cannot eat. Alright. Well, more for me. I'll just eat the extra pancakes that didn't fit in the stack. That's the sad one. Sad, lowly, undecorated. Never mind. Professional at work. Want to eat the rest of these at a table? Yeah. Alright, then let's take a break from the kitchen. Oh no. I completely forgot we were open early today. How long have you guys been waiting? 25 minutes and 11 seconds. Is that? In post, I'll put up if that's actually how long we've been in the game. Oh, I just got here. Hi, Nico. Hi, Lula. Hi, Lamplighter Man. I have a name. What you guys doing back in the kitchen? I was teaching Ling how to make pancakes. But doesn't Ling already know how to make pancakes? Not these special ones that my mama makes. Thank you for sharing that with me. I learned a lot today. The master has become the student. Mostly about molecules, but I can see why you'd like these so much now. It's a very involved recipe. Almost more like a cake than a pancake. What? That's so cool. Me next, I get to go next. Oh, you want to learn how to make these pancakes too? You might be a little too young. Even an older kid like Nico is scared of some parts. Hey, I wasn't scared, it's just self-defense. Like Kung Fu? Huh? Were you karate chopping all the pots and pans because you were scared? What? No. Because I would. You mean like self-preservation? Yeah, that. I don't know that word. I just don't want to be near a hot stove, especially not around sugar lava. Exactly. Nico was just being responsible. Can you eat the lava? You cannot eat the lava. Disappointing, I know. Absolutely do not eat the lava. And the responsible thing for me to do is not let Lula anywhere near your stove. We'll teach you how to make these pancakes when you're a little or a lot older, okay? No, I want to teach you how to make my favorite food. Does not have lava. Oh, in that case, sure. Yay. Guess it's open house day in the kitchen. Let's see. Do you got any bread? Sure, but it's just pre-sliced bread, not the loaves you guys normally have. That's even better. Now we don't have to cut it. Okay, you gotta cook the bread on a pan over hot coals. You have a toaster. That's even better. I get some yogurt and mix some salt in the seasons. Seasons? Like spring and summer? Of course not. Winter it is. That's not what I meant, and you know it. I'm assuming you want sea moss salt? Got a shipment from the Glen a while ago. We also have garlic salt, which tastes similar, but a lot stronger. Give me the garlics. We don't get this much back at home. Okay, mix the salt with the yogurt, then just spread this on the bread with a spoon. I like to then rip some fish in little pieces and put on top. Smoked fish, not alive. You got any? We have some smoked salmon. Will that work? My favorite. I like to put some seeds on top of the fish to make it crunchy. These are just no toasted seeds. Sesame seeds work? Yeah, I'll take it. That... Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of seafood. That just sounds disgusting. 0 currency. 90% fish. Sesame seed inferior. So, you want to make something too? I was actually just going to order my regular jug of coffee, but breakfast wouldn't hurt. Look at you, eating food. Cover your eyes, kids. Or your parents might get mad. Step 1, toast a slice of bread. 2, cover it. Butter from room temperature. Sprinkle on instant coffee and sugar to taste. And done. Yeah, that's... No. It tastes okay. And that's breakfast. Not good for grown-ups. Oh, just a little good for grown-ups. Not good for children. Lots of caffeine. All the caffeine. Little sleep. Kind of tastes okay. For lunch, I normally mix the instant coffee into some 3-minute noodles. The cup kind. You don't need to add sugar. Or if I'm really in a rush, I just put a scoop of coffee in a bag uncooked. I think you should leave the kitchen. Get out. You're done. Gordon, this is Gordon Ramsay now. It's raw. Get out. Got kicked out. That was so much fun. Too bad we didn't get to karate chop any pans though. Please do not do that. I should probably start at the coffee machines. Do you want any? No thanks. Coffee is for grown-ups. I heard it's really bitter. Only if you drink it black. You might like it in a decaf hazelnut cappuccino or mocha latte though. I only understood one of those words. I like it black. Lula, have you been here this whole time? Don't go running off like that. Jeez. Sorry, I got hungry. Foraging food is so easy in the city though. The nice guy at the cafe feeds me for free because I am very cute and also a baby. Can't argue with that. He gives this guy here free food because he doesn't take care of himself despite being a grown-up in his house is probably really messy. Damn! Just saying. Whoa, let's say what's with all the decorations? Is it someone's birthday? Did you just notice? I guess you could call it a birthday. It's a 10-year anniversary. Anniversary of what? Someone's wedding? Or I don't think anyone here is married. The anniversary of the original... Oh right, you weren't around for that. That's okay, neither was I. I was, I think. What anniversaries... What are anniversaries but grim reminders that we... That's crazy. That's crazy. I wasn't around either. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm just here for emotional support. Thanks. Yeah, a lot of us got here pretty late, didn't we? Especially me. Yeah, you really lost me there. Though it was 10 years ago. You think I can remember that far back? He doesn't. I'm gonna pass up an excuse to party. Hey. Anyways, where's all the booze? Yo. In post, I'll see which George it is and match it with what the George dice is. What a crowd. I'll say. Looks like I got a lot of cooking to do now, huh? Oh, I'll help. We can make more pancakes. Pancakes. Count me in. As you know, I'm always up for some pancakes. So it's George 6. Does it randomize like the George in actual one-shot? I'm curious. George, it's 8 in the morning. We're having breakfast for breakfast. Let me guess, you pulled an all-nighter on those manuscripts again. You know it. Breakfast for dinner, for breakfast, for lunch, because we already ate. Pancakes, that makes me nostalgic. We haven't seen them in a long time, have we? Yeah. What are you two whispering about? Just reminiscing. You go, what? This must be important to you. Of course. This is my mama's special recipe. They're my favorite thing to eat ever. Ah, how wonderful. You don't want to know how long this took to make, though. I was there. But that time is not wasted if you spent it on something you care about. It's true. Pancakes turned out really good because we spent a long time on them. Sick. They won't make you sick. Unless you eat 100 of them. 5,500 grams. Well, that sounds amazing. Eating 100 pancakes? If they're as good as you say, we might. Collectively. I can't eat 100 pancakes by myself. That's quitter talk. Speaking of whom. Lamp Man. I have a name. You're not gonna bail on us again, are you? I was just going to go back to work, but I guess everyone is staying, so it'd be super awkward if I left now. Yeah, sure, I'll stay. I could go for second breakfast. I am a growing baby bird and my body demands nutrients. Nutrients, but it's mostly just sugar. That's the party, so who cares? Sugar is a nutrient, technically. That means we get to eat as much as we want. That's a spirit. Spirit? There are no spirits here. Under his breath, I'm talking about booze. No. Magpie, we just said it's like 8 in the morning. What? I'm not getting much. Just a shot. Just one. One shot. Yo! Oh shit! Name drop! Yo! Yo! Get the camera! 4K! Yo! Yo! He said it! He said it! I don't think this is the right kind of establishment for booze. Yeah! Yeah! What?
This is a moment in history!
Get a picture! This is a moment in history! Just right, we just have breakfast foods here, mostly. Like the hundreds of pancakes coming up, or however many orders we get. Let's not keep everyone waiting. Okay, I'll go back to work then. See you in a bit. Hey, I said I want to help. Don't start without me. Wait a... Oh! Yeah! Oh! 10th anniversary. Thank you for playing. Thank you for all your support in the last 10 years. Credits. Writing. Music. Pancake recipe. Original concept. Well, I guess that's it. There was a, in post I'll show it again. But there was another character there that I think might be a tease to the Margin of the Strange. But that was a pretty enjoyable experience. That was about 30 minutes playtime. But that was pretty enjoyable. Again, one more. 1,000 likes on this video and I'll actually make the pancake recipe in real life. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. Apologies about the audio mixing. It's probably trash. I'm not the greatest with audio management. I probably should put them on separate tracks, but I don't know how to do that in OBS, but it's whatever. Thanks for watching. Subscribe or don't. I don't post much. You can look at what I've uploaded and see how inconsistent my schedule is. I will say, though, that with Margin of the Strange in development, I pay for beta testing, I should say. When betas start getting released, I'll make videos on those and discuss them. So stay tuned for that. And besides that, I hope you enjoyed. I thoroughly enjoyed this mini game, I suppose. Anyways, that concludes.